Hey everybody. Okay, so I'm going to show y'all how to just give really brief instructions on how to set up your own web test development server on your local computer. And this will be used so you can test the different websites um, that you're going to be building. And it's the cheapest way, so you don't have to buy hosting over at GoDaddy, Pantheon, or any of those other hosting services. But where you can go, this will set up a server on your local computer called you'll get to it called localhost, and it just lets you build websites right here on your own machine. This is great for getting going, so you don't spend any money. First thing we're going to do, there is a program called Xampp. It works for Windows and Macs. This is probably the simplest way to do a bundle installation that has Apache, MySQL, and PHP. What Apache is that is the server that actually runs the website. It is most commonly found paired with PHP, which is used to write code before the HTML is written. And so you can normally find PHP paired with that, but occasionally it will be paired with an IIS server, which is a Windows server, but it's not near as common to see that. And MySQL, what MySQL is, that is your database. They've recently changed that to MariaDB in a lot of these installations, but they are the exact same syntax, so you don't need to worry about that. MySQL and MariaDB are pretty much synonymous with each other. And so once you get what you'll do, just watch this setup video. I'll post this link below the video or in the comments section or somewhere, so you can find all these links and everything that I'm talking about. But it'll give you the basic setup and give you a brief overview of what you can expect. It will not be the same because this video itself was published in 2008. So, but it's the best I can find. Now, if you're on a Mac, you really already have PHP and MySQL set up. Actually, I think you just have PHP and Apache by default. So you have a web server that can get you going right away, already built in. And all you got to really do is turn it on. And so it gives you a couple commands that you need to run. There's a link for this, but you'll go to terminal and you'll just type this in. Where terminal is in the applications folder, and it's under utilities, and it's just called terminal. And all that is a command line tool. So it will make it easy for you to do that. Now, once you get that up and running, it tells you how to start it. You'll do another command to start it up. This will get you going right away. It will make your default folder the sites folder, and where the sites folder is located is probably not on your computer yet. There is inside your users, you'll go to your user account, and you'll probably have to create a folder called sites because it used to be there and they got rid of it by default, but they left the icon in there if you ever do recreate that account, and it's mainly used by developers and stuff like that. So they didn't see point in keeping it, I guess. The last thing I'm going to show you is the advanced method. Now this is what I use to set up my server. It is far more advanced than y'all need to get, but if you're willing to spend the time and you want to learn all this information and the best possible setup, then this is the way I go. And the reason you have to do this is because you do not have all the packages you need by default on the Mac. So I can't use this method because there's certain libraries and modules and stuff inside of PHP and inside of Apache that I need to accomplish my web programming tasks. and they're not there by default on Mac. But what you can do is install this program called Homebrew. It just makes it simple command line installations for all this stuff. And what we're going to do is just follow this little setup guide. You can find this online, and it'll tell you how to install PHP, MySQL, and all this. This one actually shows you how to do multiple installations of PHP. It's a little advanced on that end. I tried to shorten, what I did is I tried to shorten all this code and just install PHP 7.1 right away. I haven't tested this because I already have PHP installed on my computer, but hopefully this will get you the right PHP installation and work a lot easier than following every single step of this if you decide to go this route. But first time I did this, it took a couple days to figure out what exactly I was doing, and I know a lot of you guys are all working like me and you don't have time for a lot of that. So until you get really interested, that's the way I just skip this method for now. But I wanted to have it here just in case you did want to go this route. So you'll install Apache, which is the server, then you install PHP, and you change one config file, and then you'll install, you'll restart Apache, and then you will install your MySQL, which is the database. Once you get all that done, there's two methods here to set up your root user. One is the secure installation. I highly recommend using this method right here, and just enter your responses, and you'll change your own put in your own password or whatever there. The other one is to just say MySQL admin -user. This is the old way. What this does is it puts the password directly into your terminal, and so you will need to clear out your history, so people can't just thumb through your history and look at it. And that's called, you just need to do this command, history -cw. If you want to go to what it's actually doing is, if you want to go find the file, there is a bash history file that is hidden under your user account, and that's where it's written, and all it does is just wipe it clean and deletes all the text from inside there. So that is pretty much everything. Now that will get you PHP, MySQL, and Apache, which will get you building websites and everything. The other thing you're going to need right now is a code editor, and I posted a link that I just quickly Googled. So these are code editors from 2015. There may be some new ones. I know PHP Storm. I don't know if it's on here, but that's one of the really high-end ones, and it costs money. The one I use is called Coda. It's number 9 on this list. It's actually Coda 2. It's a new version. It's expensive, but it does a lot of work. You know, once you get into the more advanced stuff, it helps you out quite a bit. Now, for default, most people, when they're on Windows, all started with Notepad++, also known as Notepad 2, and so it's free. The only thing bad about this is it doesn't come with an FTP client. You don't need an FTP client currently. FTP client is, FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol. It's for transferring your files over to the web server, and since we're doing everything local, the files are already on your computer and on the web server. But if you're using GoDaddy hosting, if you're using Amazon, WordPress engine, Pantheon, and HostGator, all these different ones, there's a lot of different hosting network solutions. There's a whole lot of other hosting options for when you actually take your website live. you will need file transfer protocol to get your files up to their server if you're not using one of their default installations. So there's a link here for free FTP editors, CyberDuck, FileZilla. Those are the two main ones that most people use. There's a couple other ones, but hopefully that will get you started on those, and we'll get everybody set up. Now, the last thing that you will need eventually, if you decide to stick with this, you will need Photoshop. There's free alternatives like Xampp and other things like that, but you will spend more time than the effort it is worth to try to set those up and use those. For the time being, I will provide image files for you to test all these different pieces of code I'll give you. But once we do get farther along, I will show you some Photoshop methods that are pretty common practice when splicing up a web page design in Photoshop. Anyways, I hope this gets y'all started, and I'll talk to y'all soon.